Hello World Civ 106 classes, welcome to week 3. So I just want to state really briefly again, most of you are doing all right with the Sunday papers. I don't want you to stress out so much on them again. I just want to briefly say a few things. Remember that the Sunday papers are just meant for you to demonstrate what you learned in this class. And I'm basically just having you show me, as with the notes and with the discussions, are you learning anything? And did you learn directly from what we covered? So the papers are about showing me what you learned in class, not outside. So no outside sources. Some of you, I think, are thinking when I say dates that you're putting on your paper the date that you send it, which I don't need because Canvas tells me that. But I need dates for time periods covered in the papers. And so with the papers, you just need works cited in parentheses. You don't need to put any works cited at the end of your paper, just showing where you got it from, referring to what we did in this week's, in each week's module, okay? So we're still on week 3. We actually just started still. Please do not feel overwhelmed if you misunderstand something or have any kind of issues. I want to help you, and so I really want to encourage you. If you're nervous about contacting me or feel embarrassed about something, I would like you to not do that, because I went through all the same struggles in school. I went to MJC. I didn't get straight A's. So just contact me regarding that. Keep in mind too that when you get graded, if you just use your phone with Canvas, it won't show that I left any discussions with you, or feedback telling you why you have the grade that you do. So really, the phone, this is what's frustrating to me. You really shouldn't be using your phone with Canvas. And if you are, you're probably most likely missing out on information that you might be needing. If you have a solid A in the class and you're doing well, maybe you don't worry about it as much. But if you have some issues, you should get on the laptop or your desktop and actually see what's going on. Because if you get a low grade from me, I will have explained to you why that's the case and what you need to do to fix it. Okay? So please keep that in mind. And all right, in terms of the information, we are now going to be moving more and more into slowly but surely into religions that are actually practiced still today. So we've covered the, ancient Mesopotamia. You don't have too many people still worshiping the old gods. If they do, they're kind of reinventing it. And here we're covering Egypt, and we're learning about ancient Egypt, which is the majority of what we're learning about. And then I talk about Christian Egypt. Now, please keep in mind for the discussions, and this is important. I'm already seeing a little bit of a trend in this. I talked about trying to talk about a little bit of the two in the discussion, and I think for some of you it's very difficult. We're talking about thousands and thousands of years of pre-Christian history, and then we're talking about Egypt going into Christianity, which it is now not the dominant religion of Egypt. Islam is. One historian stated that if you take Cleopatra and you take the time she was living and the time that the original pyramids were built, we are actually closer in time, those of us who are alive now, to the time that Cleopatra was than she was to the time that the pyramids were built. Do you feel me on that? My whole point is the pyramids have been around for a long time. Egypt, this is a very huge disservice to the history by just getting a week to do this. I'm trying to get you to understand some general things. You need to understand something about even Akhenaten. Akhenaten, his influence wasn't even really known about until later. But why he's important is because of his shift into monotheism, which ends up becoming an important shift to other world cultures later on. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is it's easy to watch this week and kind of see it as a blur and look at it like Egypt went through all of these phases that I talked about as if it was like talking about the United States from being a British colony to the War of Independence to the Civil War and Reconstruction after. No, no, no. We are talking about a vast amount of time covered. And most of what we're talking about is referring to things that happened before Egypt was Christian. You will almost never hear the phrase Christian Egypt. That's actually why I'm having this discussion. And we're going to learn more about Christianity, by the way, historically, and the development of Christianity later on in this class. What I mainly wanted to do is show you that Egypt has been a world player and has been a part of many different ideological systems, and that Egypt had a huge influence on early Christianity and even Europe, such as with the monasteries, which we're talking about. And so I basically wanted to put the complexity and the nuance of Egypt on blast for you. Like, put it on your radar that there's a lot more to it that's interesting and that should be thought about and talked about. And I even gave some of the readings to notice for you to take a look at. Shoot, I wanted to grab this book. Okay, I'm going to go grab it right now and I'm going to show you really quick. Hang in there. This is the most that was the most unprofessional type of thing, but hey, this is an announcement. I'm not a famous YouTube person, okay? So pardon a little commercial break there. Okay, this book I like to show students. I bought this when I was in Leiden in the Netherlands. Leiden is not too far from Amsterdam. Christianizing Egypt. And the reason why I'm trying to show this to you is that this really is a topic. It's a thing. This is actually not a very easy read. It's a super scholarly piece of work that really deals with religious studies. But it really tried to show that it was a long process where in Egypt they were synthesizing ancient Egyptian religion in with Christianity in many places too. A super fascinating topic. So yeah, I just wanted to put that on your radar. And now, Egypt is an influential country with film in the Arab world. The majority speak Arabic, and the majority religion is Islam. But the Coptic Church is still alive and well. And so, I wanted you also to see. There's a clip I believe I showed you on the Coptic Church, and I'm just kind of trying to show you also that it exists, the Egyptian Church. Please keep in mind that the church has a tradition that St. Mark brought Christianity to Egypt, and that Egypt is one of the oldest churches in the world. These are church traditions. So remember that secular history often has a different point of view than, let's say, traditions that coming out of religious establishments, or sometimes maybe established nationalist narratives. So these things are up for debate. But I just wanted you to be exposed to that as well. So that's all I have to say for now. I hope you are all doing well, taking care of yourself. I hope that your friends and family in other parts of the world and America are doing all right. Between COVID, fires, and floods, it's pretty rough out there. So take good care of yourselves and each other, and we'll be in touch.